underneath that river. And according to the Bible timeline, when the river dries up, they will be released from under the river to slaughter 1/3 of mankind. And the river is almost dried up. So it's only a matter of time before those angels are back on the earth. Make sure to subscribe and go watch my other videos to keep up to date. Honestly, what he's saying is pretty much legit. And that is a time period. A time period, and I believe during that time, the children of Israel would be out away from anywhere in that area. So even though he's speaking on a time period, it would be even better if he was able to speak on something that has something to do with us as a people and what the Father is doing. See, when Gentiles speak prophecy, I don't feel that they should go into too deep to the prophecy in Revelation if they have not went into the prophecies of who we are as a people. So them going into that area, I think it's okay, but on the other end, it's like, okay, why is it they can't go into who is the true Jews and who are the true chosen people of the Most Higher? That's strange to me how they can go all the way into the prophecies of the Most High Yah to a certain degree. I give or take 10%, but not be able to discern or read upon all this, the whole, how would I say it, the overall of the true Jews and who we are as a people. They never seem to touch that rim. And to me, that just so off balance. I mean, you can talk about everything else, but why is it that the Father won't allow you to talk about us as a people and the way things are going and what's actually taking place today in this country? Now, he can talk about what's happening over there in another country or continent, but he can't really expound on prophecies in Babylon. That's another thing that makes me wonder. Why is it you all can't say anything about Babylon? Or Babylon, I do know is a sister, but the United Snakes. But he can allow you to go and talk about everything else, but can't cover the issues, the sick, sad, wicked, and evil issues that's in this country. It's amazing to me to know that they can cover the prophecies in Revelation, but they can't cover everyday issues that this country has taken on since it's been here. They can't cover that. And I just find that to be very, very strange. Very strange. I'm going to have to go in the closet on that one. I'm going to have to not only go in the closet, I'm going to have to take out some time to really hear from the Most High on that. I wasn't planning on saying that, but as I'm thinking about that video and how they can give you prophecies of what's taking place in Revelation, but can't see today, everyday life, just seeing the things that's actually taking place in the world today. And the reason why I say that, because I was looking at a video earlier today, and this black guy, he has his own little, how would I call it, a radio station or a podcast or whatever. And he was talking about, he was allowing this Gentile female to talk about what's going over in Africa and how they are treating the African people and how they have treated them throughout times and how her forefathers have treated the people over in Africa and what they took from them as far as healthcare and all the bad things they've done to them. All of that is vain and vax. If that individual who's telling you this is not climbing on top of it. You get what I'm saying? Because we as an individual, we can't fight up against them. That's not part of the prophecy. Even if we do, you see what happened. The reason why I said it, because last night I was watching the documentary about Sam Cooke. And ain't no different from Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and all the others that has been assassinated, you know? So, and Ahia did not come to deliver them out of those situations. So the only one can stand on the mountain and speak of them are the Gentiles, but are the Gentiles willing to? So when I see our Black men always putting a Gentile male or female on their page to speak about wrongdoing, but not speaking about we need to do this. I'm going to get this taken care of. I'm going to speak on this. I'm going to stop them from doing this. I'm going to stand on the mountaintop and tell the truth. You will never see the Gentiles do that. They won't do it. They'll be on your side by side, but they will not stand above you to stand for justice, righteous, truth, nothing. They would stand there and tell you what their forefathers did to the Black people and how they destroyed the Indians and all these other things. They would tell you, but they would never climb on top of it to make their voice known. To me, us running to them to get word is like throwing up and go back to that throw up and lick up the vomit. That's how I see it as an individual. And when I see that, I'm only seeing it pretty much among our Black men. They always putting either Black Gentile males or Gentile females to tell us the story about what they did, but only to the degree as just to tell it and it's over. Once you click that and it's over, that's it. See, when you want to tell the story, the true story about things that you have done to a people, you're supposed to be on top of a mountain. You don't come to my page, or I don't put you on my page to express what your people have done without you expressing it yourself. Don't come. It's like you find we as a people so weak to the point where, we can say what we did to them, but we ain't gonna say what we did to each other. You see what I'm saying? We ain't gonna stand on a mountain and tell the truth of the matter of what's we have done. You see, they're not gonna do it. Not for you or not for me. Or now one of these platforms. So I think it's very it's poor everything for our Black men to always finding these people saying the things that they did negative. Why are you listening to them? Why are you entertaining them? They should be speaking on the mountain regarding these situations, not speaking to you from where they're at about what their forefathers have done. They should be on the mountaintop speaking it, because when they speak it to you, they know only place you're going to take it is to your people. And it's vain and vexed. It's worthless. Come telling us what you done. We pretty much know what you done. Why don't you tell it to your people? Why don't you stand on the mountain and proclaim it to your people? So when I see this man telling this here, let me show you this here again. So you can see where I'm coming from when I'm talking and what I'm talking about. If he were to expound on slavery, or
prophecy is actually happening right in front of your eyes. In the book of Revelation in the Bible, it talks about the great Euphrates River in the Middle East. It says that in the last days before God destroys the earth, that this great
you see that what he's talking about is 100. Okay, it is a time period that's yet present, and it is a little ways, but most likely we as the chosen elect, we're not going to be here when the battle is done on that ground, because that's the whole purpose of it drying up, is because it's going to be a battleground for war. Okay, and that's the four angels that's going to be loosed is going to be those who's going to make the battle so severe. And when we tell you how severe it is, they're talking something like 200 million. 200 million are going to fall on that ground. That's a lot of people. So during that time, I don't think we would be here as a people, but I don't think it's drying up, but not to the point where it's ready for battle. Okay, but it's going to be the battlefield for those countries over there, and it's going to lose just that many people. And when it speaks of that many people, it brings me to the conclusion is he's going to destroy many people on that one battlefield. Praise the mighty Yah. Because 200 million is a lot of people. And it's not people, it's men, men. Okay. So when I hear this young man, and this was not text to me, that's something I need to look into. And I'm like, okay, I know about that in Revelation, but just listening to him, I realized that, wait a minute, he's speaking some truth, but it's a ways from here. And yes, it is a prophecy in Revelation. Why is it? And that's something like I say, I'm gonna have to go to the Father and ask him. And I might have to even get in the closet to get the answer. And I might not, because the more I thirst, the more he give me. I'm just trying to understand, why is it the Gentiles and the heathens and the Gentiles can talk about prophecy in Revelation or prophecies, but always bypass slavery? You see what I'm saying? Who is the true Jews? Who are our highest chosen people? It's so much they bypass when it come down to that. But it confused me, because I'm like saying, Father, why are they trying to tell prophecy, but have not and have lived and turned their face away from much truth? And they're way over in Revelation trying to tell you the prophecy. But what about all this other stuff that you all have done in this country that you will not speak about? So to me, I think that's kind of strange. For me, that's very strange. So when that individual, which was a male, who sent me that at 4:30 this morning, I said, well, you know what? That's really strange. He can tell you the prophecy, but he's not going to tell you what took place already in this day and time in this country and time past. It's just strange to me. How is it that they can try to continue to think that they're telling people something that's in Revelation, but then won't talk about the way we are mistreated and or any of that? So I'm like, okay, is it the Father's will that they not understand their part and their role? They're wicked and they're evil. That's what I'm confused about. I'm very confused about that. But like I say, a higher knows all things. So what I want to talk about, and we're just going to be here. And hello in the live chat. It's good to see you. And it's time to talk. If you have any questions, or you have any answers to questions, or you have information that you want to share, go right ahead. I think I kind of messed up because I post a live and I had to cut it off because I wanted it for 7 and it was trying to start at 6:40 or 6:30. So I kind of messed up. So, but if you have any question or you have answers to questions, and you want to discuss something that's going on, go just shoot right in, because it's time to talk. Hello, everyone in the live chat. It's good to see you. Good evening. I will say this here. I will say something about Proverbs 16, one of my favorite chapters is Proverbs book and chapter Proverbs 16. I love this here because it kind of support what took place before the foundation of the world and support what was spoken earlier today. So I really like that Proverbs 16. Anyone have any questions or have answers to questions or have want to ask questions or want to talk about issues that is going on in the world today, and you want to inform us about something that you come upon, just shoot right in and we can start the topic. Okay, Sister Deborah just talking until someone bring up something else different. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, I want to show you where verse 1, Proverbs 16 and verse 1, the preparation of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from Ahia. You see, this is kind of really touching base with what I was saying earlier today in that video and what took place before the foundation of the world. Proverbs 16 pretty much nails it. I mean, the whole chapter of Proverbs 16. Listen to this in verse 1. The preparation of the heart in man and the answers of the tongue is from Ahia. See, when we really think that we are in control and we rule it from the beginning and the end, you know what? As Sister Deborah said, it is finished. While we're role playing our feelings, Ahia did been there, done that, and it is finished in him. And then he says in verse 2, all the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes. That means not just you, but me too. We think that everything is clean in what we see it to be, what we feel or we think it should be. In our own eyes, everything is okay, it's clean. But what happened? But Ahia weighed the spirits. And this is where I was trying to explain to people. Somewhere along the line, I'm not here to come in between what people believe as far as a soul. I come to speak spirit and truth. And in spirit and truth, there is flesh and there is spirit. And your spirit is the image of Ahia, which is a spirit. He is the light. He gave you a lowercase light, which is his image, a spirit. Okay. Now, with that being said, he's saying that we can allow other spirits to connect to our spirit. The only way that can be done is when the Ruach is not in us. See, the other spirits can't detach to our spirit once the Ruach is there. That's just it. The Ruach HaKodesh. It's no way any other spirits can detach. But this is what I like that he says. He said, but Ahia weighed the spirits with an S, because people don't believe. All kind of spirits detach themselves to your spirit when you don't have the spirit of the Ruach HaKodesh living in your spirit. Other spirits detach themselves to you, and those are the spirits that Ahia said he weighs. And what he mean by weighs, he judges the spirits that you have allowed to be detached to your spirit. Okay, that's the only way Satan also can cause you to end up going where he's heading, is when he can cause your spirit to not how you say, to do the things that pleases darkness. You see, to where the spirit of light, which is Ahia, will never enter in. And what happens? Then other spirits come and detach themselves to your spirit. And you thinking, oh, you all good. I'm all clean. I'm all good. But he's telling you, I look behind your eyes. Notice here in Proverbs 16, verse 2, all the ways of man are clean in their own eyes. You see that? Look at the eyes. EYES. Those are natural eyes. And look at the top where it says of a man, meaning humans. In their flesh, he's speaking. These eyes are flesh. In your flesh, okay? The way you see things in your flesh is clean in your own eyes. So he's talking about flesh. But he said, but I come to weigh the spirits. Hallelujah. Because our flesh opens the door to many other spirits Why is he judging? Why is he going to weigh the spirits? Because the spirits is the only thing that's going to stand, not the spirits that's going to be detached to you, but your spirit is the only thing that's going to stand before judgment, before the Most Higher, to be judged. Because a lot of us allow all the things in our flesh to cause our spirit to not have the light that was given unto us. And we become a dark spirit, where other spirits detach themselves to us. So when we pass away, we die. The flesh dies, but the sins in which you committed in the darkness of your spirit has to be judged. And it's not the spirits. He's going to weigh the spirits. That means the ways of wicked and evil and darkness, you will be judged for when you stand before a higher Yeshua in judgment. See, a lot of people don't know that, because they got the word soul to keep you from really connecting to spirit and flesh. Because what soul do is come to confuse you. And it does an excellent job, because everybody says soul, soul this, soul that, soul this, soul that. They fail to realize, how are you going to know where a higher abide? How are you going to know how he conduct himself in you? How are you going to know how he rumble? How are you going to know how he teaches if there's always a middleman to come between the spirit and the flesh? Can't be. Can't be. It can't be. But that's the way they have taught. And our father say, okay, Deborah, all is well. It's okay. And it's feeling good now to know when he says that, because I know he only said it because he cares for me so much as he is. You know, he wants me to know, don't you get out here and get bent. You got a race to run. You got to finish the finish line. You got to go all the way to the finish line. So you better perk it up and get it right. So in verse 3 of Proverbs 16, listen to this. Commit thy works unto a higher, and thy thoughts shall be established. Commit thy works unto a higher, and thy thoughts shall be established. Our works are supposed to represent him. Okay. A lot of us can't see it to be that way. We can't, we won't accept it that way. We want to accept it only one way. We don't want to accept it in that form or that fashion. We only accept it the way we want to see it. And it says, commit thy works unto a higher. So what do we should be doing? What should we be doing? The works that represents him. Not the works that represents our family, not the works that represents our community, not the works that represents our neighbors. Why? Seek ye the kingdom first. Once we start to work and be seeking him, then what does he say? And what does he say? And thy thoughts shall be established. See, we have to dedicate everything to seeking him first. And then he would see to it that everything else fall in line for us. And it's, when I used to hear that, seek ye the kingdom of heaven first, I used to think, well, we be seeking that the rest of from the beginning to. No, it ain't. It's so easy. It don't even mean that your natural body works. It don't mean that your everyday dedication, like people role playing today, have to think that they have to do this, look like this, be like this, walk like this, talk like. He ain't talking about that. Yeah, that's crap. That's to the flesh. That's to the flesh. Your works is not just spiritual. They are natural, but they're dedicated to him. Okay? So, and when you get to verse 4, Proverbs 16 and verse 4, listen to this. A higher has made all things for himself. I thought in Genesis, they said a higher created woman for man and not man for woman. This is another. And now it's in here probably 20 times, maybe more than 20. Well, a higher it's in there more than 20, probably more than 100. Well, a higher keep telling us that everything was created for him and his purpose. Nothing was created for our pleasure. I'm telling you all, when you set up under the Ruach HaKodesh and he teach you how to get that stuff lined up the right way, he teaches you so much, you be so, you'll wonder, how did you get so off balance? You mean, Father, it's like this, and it seemed more simple. We have made it so hard, you guys. We have made it so hard to live so the way that he has created us, which is so simple. But I want you to see in Proverbs 16 and verse 4, Ahiah has made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the days of evil. Now, are the wicked for the days of evil was for Ahiah? Yes, it was. He said it, I believe it, and I can't accept nothing man has to say about it. And I like it because the reason why I like it, because I know where we're at today is in the midnight hour. We in midnight hour. We in the darkest of the darkest, wicked of the wicked and evil hour, you guys. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. And we sitting here can't even see it to be dark at all. But the ideal of knowing that he created it, I know I'm going to be all right. Okay, I'm going to be all right. Yeah, I think I think that was my fault. I had it on her twice. Yeah, I had it on her twice. But so I like that how Ahiah want us to know that this darkness, Sister Deborah keep talking about, we in the midnight hour, it's dark, it's pitch dark, it's evil and wicked. Here, Ahiah letting you know, I did that. I did that. What you got to say? I did that. And why would he do that? He said it for himself. See, we thinking he did it and just came up with this since we've been in captivity or since the world was, no, he did this here before the foundation of the world was even created. In Genesis, before Genesis even exists, all this was in him, y'all. So he has a plan. He has a victory in it all, because that's what the end game is in him, is victory straight through. And there's going to be some that's going to be able to behold that awesome victory from the mighty hand of Yah. So I wanted to just touch on I'm going to touch on a couple of more verses here in Proverbs 16, because it is so deep. Let's say Proverbs 16 and verse 9. A man's heart divideth his way, but Ahiah directs his steps. Y'all see that? Ahiah, even though his heart wants to go this way, Ahiah really has directed his steps. You see, when we think we run this thing, if we have the choice, I like to know who made their choice before the foundation of the world to be a male or a female. How did you make that choice to do anything before the foundation of the world? Everything was orchestrated. Even that last message of this morning, that tells you how deep and potent what took place before the foundation of the world has orchestrated what you see today. To me, that's victory, because that's showing you who still holds it all in his hand. He do. All of it, whether it's good or evil, it's still in his hand. So anybody have any questions, or anybody have anything they would like to talk about or want to put before the live chat, and maybe bring in a different discussion of anything that's taking place and have taken place? You go right ahead. And just shoot out. I'm just going to be talking. But in Proverbs 16, another one I like, which is very potent. Listen to this. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 11. A just way, the balance, are the Lord's, or Ahiah's. He's talking about the just, y'all. The righteous. The weight of their balance are Ahiah's. Meaning Ahiah has orchestrated them. The just. Letting you know, the just is still orchestrated by me. He said, I am the potter of the clay. And here he is, said he's the potter and he's the clay. He molds the clay, one to do righteous and one to go into the unrighteous role. We refuse to. That's when Sister Deborah is constantly saying we refuse to turn the power back to where it belongs. Look at Yeshua. Yeshua, from the time he came in to the time he went out, he always reminded us the power rests in the Father. Yeshua always said it. Everything he did, he always referred us not to him, but to the Father. Because the right hand, which is Christ, that he had with him in this mission, was coming from the Father. And he wanted you to know, everything is of the Father. And this here in Proverbs 16, verse 11, a just weight and balance are of a higher. Watch this here. All the weight. Now listen to this. All the weight of the bag are his works. Are his work. You see? All the weight. So if you're thinking that you're going through and you just holding on, regardless what's going on in your life, guess what? Ahaya is telling you right here, that weight that you carry, it's still of me. You see? We won't grip that. Because the midnight hour in which we're in, we see so many issues going on, and we so focused on so much that's taking place, especially among our community, in our city, in our state, in our families, among our friends, at our jobs, everywhere. So much is going on to where we have to keep our focus on he that rules it all. Once you understand what, like these verses I'm showing you, I'm just turning it right back like Yeshua did, back to the Father. I'm telling you, everything starts with him and end with him. Everything that created is of him and for him. I'm just telling you these things. So when you go in your workplace and you have an issue with the CEO, you have an issue with the director, hey, when you know this, that's the power that can knock them down. Praise the mighty Yah. And because people don't understand why they can't bring a mountain down, he said you can say to the mountain, move, and it move, because your belief is not where you think he's at. You see, you got to know him for who he is, and that's bigger than any mountain, bigger than any issue that you're going through, bigger than anything you know. Him. That's him. That's who he is. And when you know that, let me tell you, you can speak to the mountain. It's got to move out of your way. If you want it to crumble, it's going to crumble. Because a lot of people have issues on their jobs, and they don't know how to move those issues. And you know what, y'all? I want to say this to y'all. I thank the Most High, a higher, for allowing every job I have worked, and I have worked many. Nobody bothered me. Don't bother me. They didn't bother me. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and I was working as a chef. I'm coming down the hall, and this one lady, she was this European. She felt that since she's one of the Europeans there, you got a CEO, you got a director, you got everybody in there that's head over the black people, and she figured she's the only white worker there, so she can do whatever she want to do. Let me tell you what she did. I'm coming to look at the schedule on the board. And she took this cart because she's angry. I guess somebody must have did something to her in the hall. And she come bringing through the door. And she took that darn cart and rammed it. Said, get out the way. Oh, baby, wait a minute. Woo! You should have seen that cart. You should have seen that cart. I don't go for that. I don't care who you are. I know who I am in him. That's all that matters. But don't you try me. That lady, and I mean, she came after me like, hey, and you should have heard all the black women. All the black women. Elderly black women. Oh, don't hit that white lady. Don't hit that white lady. And I'm like saying, wait a minute. They sit here saying, why did she ram that? Why did she hit you with that cart like that? But then they expect you to say, I forgive you. You okay? And they didn't understand whatever issue she was going through. They got her, whoever it was somebody like, they fired her. They fired her. Yes, they did. But the idea of how my people, now I'm gonna say mine. Let me stop that. Stop that, Deborah. Our people would tell you, don't hit this person after this person has done this. I rammed that cart right back on her. I said, do it again. She come after me thinking she's gonna do something. I locked her tail up in that corner. She didn't know what was going on. You see? Don't do that. I don't care who you are. Every job I done worked on, and you and I, same age, you ain't got no business because you're the only white worker thinking that you gonna ram me. And they all look at her do it. The thing about it wasn't her. She wasn't mad at me. She was just mad at whoever was right there at the schedule, looking at the schedule, which was me. She didn't care who it hit. She figured, I'm a white person. I'm mad and I'm angry. Get out the way, nigga. You know? And oh my goodness. And I look back, and when I was telling you about anybody ever messed with me, I thought about that. I had to bring that one up because I'm non-tolerant to stupidity and acting a certain way. I don't care about your color. Don't mess with me. I have always gone on a job, and I have never, I'm not a communicator. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not that person. I go in, do my job, come out. Go in, do my job, come out. I'm not one to play patty cake. I don't get involved with he say, she say. Let me read some of this. I don't get involved in all of that. I never was. I'm the quiet one that nobody ever bothers, but everybody want to talk to see what you think about this and think about that. Oh, that's true. That is true. That is true. See, Isaiah 29. Let me Isaiah 29. Let's see here. That's another one I like, book Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah. Well, I love it when Solomon has something to say to me too. Ecclesiastes. I know a lot of y'all probably like that one. 29 and 13. What is it? 29 and 13 and 14. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as his people draw near me, with their mouth and with their lips, do honor me. But that's mean with their, wait a minute. The people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips, do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men. There it go. You sure got that one, didn't you? You nailed that one. Let me read 14. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among these people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish. There you go. And I want the key thing to this here. When you see this, you see the power punch there. The power punch is wise men. He don't say mixed female. He's letting you know he's dealing. This is where he tell me, Deborah, shut up. I ain't talking to you. I'm not talking to you, Deborah. So when you read that, understand who I'm talking to. See, because we as women, we'll read and we put ourselves in everything he says as if he's talking to us. He'll sit there and say MEN and we be all up in it. Oh, he's telling us. No, he ain't. And that's one of these. That's the power punch because he wants you to separate yourself. For when I'm speaking to them, stand down and let me say what I got to say to them. And what does he say here? In verse 14, Isaiah 29 and verse 14, he says what? Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hidden. You see, so a higher is throughout. What I'm gonna tell y'all something. for many of years, I would never have thought that, you know how, okay, they said, you see how the Hebrew Israelites would say this book was for them. This book, he's talking to them. This book, he's really, it's for Hebrew Israelite. Let me tell you something. This book is talking to me, and y'all. It's been talking to him since the book of the beginning. This book is really talking to men. You remember James Brown? He said, this is a man's world. You know why? Men has this world. And the way you see the world is never because of a woman. Hallelujah, Father God. And Ahia will not tell you to read. Not nan one of you can pull not one scripture out that says it's everything is what a man, male, has done that caused the world to be where it's at. I know they can do like Adam did. That woman you gave me, she did it. Oh yeah, they can do that too, but it ain't gonna get them nowhere. Because the truth be told, you go back to Isaiah 3:25, he tell you they out there. And today I was reading Jeremiah and had no idea that the same old crap they were doing in Jeremiah that they doing today. I was like, he said, that's Deborah, what did I tell you? He said, I told you to take it from Genesis all the way up and see how I destroyed them. He said, I destroyed them by great numbers. I destroyed them, Deborah, every chance I got. He said, because this is not coming to this land for the 400 years was the best blessing to us than anything. I'm like, okay, I get it. Because when I was in Numbers and Exodus and way back at the beginning, I'm saying, wait a minute, Father, you killed 3,000. Moses killed his own people. Wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. Then he go killing another 24. As I start to see it, he has been always. So it ain't a big thing in Deuteronomy 28 being the end game that we are destroyed. It's not a big thing to the Most High. He said, I always destroyed their butt. I'm like, Father, you have always destroyed. He has always, because of who they have, how they have conducted themselves, how they have profaned his name, how they have disrespected him, how they refuse to honor him, refuse to worship him. Everything they did toward the Father, the Creator, has been wicked and evil. So that's why he does it. Yep, that's why I do it. And we keep blaming each other. We need to get ourselves together, though. We really do. But I don't think we can't. All I know, he says finish. So we as an individual, we can make a difference by still, yes, seeking the kingdom of Ahia and his spirit and truth. So that if he's in us, he can be the greatest that he is in us. And we know we ain't great. So we need him. That's just how bad we need him. Oh no, he's been saying it. You know how? Okay, you all who have heard the men of the Hebrew always saying that this book is about us, the Hebrews. Book is for us. This book is about us. One thing they didn't understand, it's about him telling you how men has messed it up from the flow up. They didn't look at that. That's why he wants me to go back in. And you know what? I'm wondering, what is it that I'm going to get out of reading how many people been destroyed? I got to read it, y'all, because I got to see the number of those that has been destroyed up until even today. You see what I'm saying? So he wants me to go from Genesis all the way up and see how many he have destroyed throughout time. So he wants me to understand. You talk about Deuteronomy 28 endgame is that we are destroyed. You see how really, honestly, Deborah, they are blessed. because I could have, instead of allowing them to go onto ships, destroy them like I did before. Ooh, that's deep. Because I'm sitting here reading out of nowhere Jeremiah. I said, wait a minute, hold up. You destroyed them again? He said, I told you to read it. So I got to go back and read every chapter to see how he destroyed Israel. I mean, when I say destroyed, you guys, killed. Totally wiped them out. So he's saying you better count yourself blessed to be able to come over here on them ships. Oh, that makes so much sense. And to be destroyed here. Because normally, Deborah, go back, read it. Because I was like, okay, wait a minute, Moses. Moses come down off the mountain, barely hit the mountain, threw the 10 commandments on the ground, broke them up, and went before the people and told Aaron what was he doing. And then he told the Levites and who's on a higher side. And those that got on to Moses' side, he told them to draw the sword and kill them. Even they spouse, kill them. We don't care if they your family on this side. Kill them, said the Most High. Now, wait a minute, Father. Y'all, didn't you just bring them across Egypt from Pharaoh? Kill them, Deborah. And Moses took the sword and killed every last one of them. And it came up to 3,000. And he did it. They did it again, not a little while after. It's just amazing. Not Moses and them, but I think it was the other group. Not Aaron, but they killed another lump sum of them. It was 2,500. So what I'm saying to you all, when Sister Deborah is telling you the end game to Deuteronomy 28 is that they are destroyed, don't take it so harsh. Read it for yourself and see why is he saying until they are destroyed, and then got it in there by 6 to 8 times at the end of Deuteronomy to show you, Deborah, this is the end game of the curse. This is where the curse ends once they are destroyed. You see? Which we could have been destroyed instead of coming on the ships. So he's telling me, when you go back and start seeing how many times I destroyed them through death, through the sword, took them out of here, then you'll understand they were truly blessed to come over here on them slave ships. Think about that, y'all. Just think, okay, tell you what, would you rather die today or get on a ship and live tomorrow and the next day and the next day? Your butt gonna get on that ship instead of dying right then and there. That's still showing you that grace and mercy of the Most High Yah allow you to get on ships and be dispersed in different areas of the countries because of the way you were doing in the country he had given, the land he had given you. You was wicked and evil over there. But see, he couldn't let you remain over there because that was holy land. That was holy land. And you polluted it. You did everything and you start to worship idols on his holy land. I tell you what, get y'all tails up out of here. Get your butts on out of here. And that's why they ran over to the other side, to Africa and all over the place, West Africa in that area. And right now today, like I asked a lot of y'all, but do your search. Africa is trying to get reparations since British Queen has died. They trying to get it. How are you entitled to it? Yes, we got some tribes over there, but African as a continent does not deserve it because they the ones start slavery, y'all. Listen to this. We came over here on ships. When you read Deuteronomy 28, it tells you you're going to go over on ships. What was all this other killing before we got over there to the ships? He was in Africa, and not one man is willing to teach it to their people. Not one Hebrew Israelite would tell y'all. It was Africa who called us slaves. It was Africa who was raping our children, our women, and our men. It was Africa who was killing us. That's why they didn't have no problem treating us the way that they treated us. And they got right here today. Africa got, listen to this, y'all. Just listen to this. Africa got locations where they held you, your people, in such of the worst of living, and how they murdered your people. and then have the audacity to use it as a place where people can tour and see how they dog you out. Tell me Israel ain't gone up here. They been gone. See, they was gone from the get-go. Once they profaned Ahiah's name and they disrespected him, and then he said, Deborah, on that holy land, they was killing one another. Ezekiel 36. They was over there killing each other. On holy land! The richest land on the face of the earth. Ahiah, the Father in the heaven gave to them. And they over there doing that type of stuff and all kind of other things. You see? But what problem I have, how could Africa have the audacity to try to claim reparations? So a lot of these Black people don't understand that's over in America and in other places. They don't understand why Africa want us to come over there. It's because they got claim on funds that they're trying to claim anyway. As if, see, they looking at it, we same skin color. That's what they looking at. And they trying to get that money. But I'm going to tell you, as a little girl, I used to watch television and see those little African babies. And they had big old bloated stomachs and seemed like they was walking on dusty ground and hard ground, no food, crying and flies all over. Guess what, you all? I think they said Sudan. But let me tell y'all something. A lot of Africa was dogging their people out like the heathens and the Gentiles have dogged us out in this country. Africa was doing worse to their people, starving their people and everything. I'm a little girl seeing this. And then they'll tell people in America use that to tell you to give money to this and give money. But why is Africa? I never could understand. How is it that they get a whole plane full of food? And guess what? Somebody told me this and it hurt my heart. They told me this. I was in high school. They said, Deborah, when they send the food over, there are different African tribes takes the food away from the poor. That's why y'all constantly seeing the people. They're not giving the food there. I said, but why won't the other countries take it there and set it there and see to it that they get it? That's not how they do it. They just let the people take the food from the people and they take it away as it been dropped down. They take it away from the poor people. And that's why the poor were dying. But then you go right back to Deuteronomy. You see what he said. It's said in there because it's showing you that we were some of those people over in Africa that they were doing that to. You see, all this time we thinking that, oh, they doing these white people doing Africa like they doing us. No, they ain't, baby. Africa got the answer to the Most High, Ahiah, just like these heathens and Gentiles do too. Africa got the answer. We got the answer to them too. We got the answer to it too. Not just as a tribe, but as an individual. We're going to all have to stand with them. And think y'all, the reason why I say y'all be careful with this Hebrew Israelite movement, okay? Because if you, say for instance, if you're a Hebrew Israelite and you decided, okay, that's it, and you follow under all their criteria and what they believe in, baby, you ain't got no business doing the feast days and blowing the trumpet in your heart. It's not fixed. See, people don't get it. These people are so lost, and they just trying to do traditions of the old. Can they do tradition of the old? No. Why? Because the old didn't hold the tradition they had. So how you gonna take what Torah you call Torah, which is ain't no such thing, but you gonna take it and try to live it today, and they couldn't live it yesterday. And the sin that is upon us today is greater than yesterday. You see what I'm saying? So how is it we're going to bring it into today and try to master something that got us where we at today? But we're going to sit here and try to master it in captivity. Why are you blowing the trumpet? For what? You got hate for your brothers. You sitting here watching your brothers kill each other. You sitting here watching your men practice hoarding. You sitting here hoarding. That's something else they were doing. The Father said they were doing a lot of that. That's why a lot of this stuff that they're coming up with, y'all, polygamy and all that mess. That's their tradition of their action, of their wickedness. They're trying to make sure they get everything of their pleasure okayed by one another. And then when you get women to vouch for it and go along with it, that's on them. That's on them. That's why he said silly women ladder with sin. I like that because he said silly women ladder with sin. That means their heart not right no way. So that's why they're following him. And a lot of people thinking, oh, they follow him because they're holier than thou. No, he says silly women ladder with sin. You follow behind that stuff. How you don't have no problem with it? He said he don't have no problem with nothing. And if you, I don't know who have heard that message this morning, earlier today. This is the reason why. Because he said, he said, Deborah, I was the sower. I the one sowed those seeds in all the wrong places because I knew they wasn't going to be about nothing. I sowed those seeds in all the wrong places. Because I was like, oh, wait a minute, Father. Wait a minute. I got too many questions. Why was that sower sowing seeds? He knew better than that. Why are you sowing seeds on rock? Why are you sowing seeds on thorns? Why are you sowing it where they can't spring up on the wayside? Why was the sower sowing the seeds in the wrong places? You know what he said? He said, Deborah, the sower is me. That's when I first read that. It was like 21 years ago. I said, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Because you were sowing those because heaven had already orchestrated. Heaven had already knew who they were. And you sowed them where you knew they were going to be. So when he was telling me that, I said, well, okay. Now, because I was like on that sower. I'm like, wait a minute. Why is he doing that? He ain't got no business out there. I'm talking to a higher like that, y'all. I was silly. I was 21 because I was in class. And I was reading and I was asking him these questions. And I'm like, well, why was that sower sowing these seeds? And even though it was parables, but it had the word in it. It was showing you like it. What did Yeshua say? What did Yeshua? The kingdom of heavens is likened to. See, when Yeshua would say the kingdom of heavens is likened to, he's letting you know heavens has orchestrated this in the heavens like it is on the earth. So when I see that, I'm like, okay, well, when I'm in the class, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm reading this, but Father, I know these parables. I get these parables, but I want to know who is this sower and why is it he's sowing seeds in the wrong place? He needs to get off the field. I was cutting up, y'all. I thought that was so funny. I was cutting up. Why is he out on the field, period, if he can't lay the seeds in the right place? I was cutting up. But when he told me it was him, he said, no, he said, I am the sower, Deborah. I was like, now it makes sense. Not because it didn't make no sense to me. It don't make sense. Yeshua telling them this parable, and I'm like, so wait a minute. This don't make sense because I can read behind reading, and it didn't make no sense. You know, it's just like if you say, for instance, if you were an artist, and you making pictures with just a cross on it, like an X, and trying to sell it, and got another one trying to sell it. Wait a minute, you're an artist. Why are you drawing like that? Why are you doing that like that? That's what someone would say. What is this? Why are you? So that's how it was with me trying to figure out, okay, I know I understand parables, but this one is real silly. It just didn't make any sense. He told me, Deborah, that was me. And then I understood. I said, that's it. Because it's like it was in heaven. That's where Yeshua, when he first came, this is all he said. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. The kingdom of heavens are at hand. And then when he began to teach, he was saying, heaven is like unto. Heavens is like unto. Heavens is like unto. Heavens is like unto. He was trying to get us to understand heaven is like this. Let me tell you. Bam, 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 bam. Because heaven orchestrated that which is on the earth. And that's what he was saying. So I thought that was really, really out there. I really did. Come on, somebody. Anybody have any other question? or maybe someone has something that someday. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was really, really off the chain to say that. So even when I was over to Proverbs 16, if you all read Proverbs 16, you can actually see how Ahia is how Ahia is controlling everything from the heaven. I'm telling you, he said he's controlling everything. No, I ain't gonna say he's controlling it. He has controlled it from the heaven in the sense that this caused us to really seek him in spirit and truth because he controls everything. Everything is going to go exactly how he's allowing it to. Because even if, say for instance, they said a lot of slaves died on them ships. A lot of slaves jumped overboard, women, and they took their babies with them. All this stuff. Did you think when they was jumping overboard, how you said, wait a minute, don't do that, let me catch you? When they hung them men on them trees and them women on them trees and slavery, did you think he said, let me cut this rope? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Because he's like he's saying to me today. You go back and you read how many times I had to destroy them. And when you read it, then you'll understand Deuteronomy 28, why it's important that they destroy here. Oh, wow. Wonderful. Wow. I can believe it. I can believe it. Because when that Gentile, that white man that was in my store this past Sunday, when he walked out and what he said, it didn't have nothing to do with no flesh, y'all. The way he said it had nothing to do with no flesh. You don't know, and that's why I thank the Most High for sending who He's sending to try to get us to understand it's not going to go the way we want it to go, but He's going to send His so we can understand that these people that He's sending and that He has sent is still there connecting with us. But we want to connect to so much darkness. We don't want to connect to the ones that He's sending. And I think that's kind of sad, but He said, it's all right. It's all right. Unit 19. Unit 19. Unit 19. Let me see something. Unit 19. Unit 19. 19. Unit 19. I'm saying that for a reason. I'm trying to do something. Unit 19. Unit 19. Did she ever say what her mission was? I see it was called to Unit 19. I'm trying to see something. Okay, let me try one more. One more thing here. Oh no, this is a big one. I have a okay. No, I was just looking up something right quick. Okay, it is drying up. It is drying up, but it has to be. It's still got some more that needs to dry totally up. And reason why I'm saying that is because there is going to be a war on that ground. You see, there is going to be a war fought on that ground, and the four angels that's coming up, they gonna make sure it's real good. Oh, Deborah, you ain't right. Okay, okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, Father, y'all. Okay, the Euphrates River dried up. Okay, yes, it is drying up, and you can see it. There's no doubt it has really dried up, but not to the fullness of where it's going to dry up. The heat is one thing that's also, you can see the dryness of the dust, I would say the dirt. So it's drying up, but it still have some water. But when it get to that, it's going to be a war. That's going to be a war battlefield. And the four angels that he's sending, the wicked ones that he's sending to bring that battle to the fullness, they're going to be in the midst of it. And why? Why are they going to be in the midst of it? Because they're going to be something like 200 million men lose their life that day during that time. 200 on that same ground. You see, so this ground will have to be truly prepared in its dryness to the point where it's solid, so the war can begin. And only Ahia has the day, the hour, the time in which it will start. But it's going to. Yeah, it is drying up. You should see it. Go on Google. You can see it's drying up. Totally different. Look, totally different. For two couples. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Unit 9, apartment 309. Unit 9, apartment 309. No, that ain't it. That's not it. I was just checking with something to see. Her parents were one of her assignment and another dispatched to Unit 919, apartment 309. If I'm not mistaken, that's what she said. All right. Okay. Wow. That's powerful. Mm. But right, I'm gonna tell you something, baby. Around about now, I'll look for anything a higher willing to send because that's how much help is needed. But I told many people there are those that he's sending that ain't gonna play with you. They hear about business and strictly business. They ain't gonna play patty cake, patty cake. They're gonna be here about what the Father has sent them here to do. No, 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 no. What he's talking about, he's not. They everybody keep calling them fallen. They did not fall from they were, they call themselves following Satan. They thought they was going to follow him, but instead a higher chain they tails in the uttermost darkness of the earth. You see, they down below chain, and those are 4 of them that's going to come up during that time. You see? And they only, in Revelation said 4. I like that because it's letting you know it ain't gonna let all them beasts up. And listen to this, even after they come up, they still gonna have to do what Ahia said do. So their job is to get in the midst of that war and see to it that it's so brutal that 200 million shall die. Go back, read it. 200 million shall lose their lives on that battlefield. So something gonna have to be in that midst of that battlefield to be stirring that war up within them. But I don't think that's a time where we're going to be. I just don't think we as a people will be still here. I really don't. She don't know the other one on the earth. Oh, wow. But the angels, they keep calling it fallen angels. You won't see nowhere in the biblical book, in this book, will you see anything that says fallen angels. You won't see it. You see what I'm saying? Because I think to say that they fail is not just. Ahia, they decided to follow Satan. But see, because they was willing to follow him, Ahia followed their tail straight to the uttermost darkness and chained their tail down below, and that's where they been. They didn't get to follow him. They got to follow where Ahia had assigned them in the uttermost darkness chain. And those are 4. The reason why I like the 6th angel blew the trumpet, and 4, I like that because it's letting you know all them suckers are not coming up. Only 4, and it's going to take those 4 angels. Their mission already been assigned to tell them when you bring your butt up, stir up more fire, stir it up, stir it up. And it says it's going to be 200 million lives is going to be lost. It says 200,000, and that's 200 million. Okay, lives going to be lost. That's a lot of people, y'all. And guess who it says? Me. Me. That's what it says. And I think, who did I say? And who is that? I think it's going to be, it has to deal with the Middle East. It has to deal with, where is it at? Come on, Iran, Iraq, over in Asia. I don't know. I think Russia's going to be dealing with it too. I think China going to deal in it. Middle East, Turkey. I think it's Syria. I know Iran and Iraq. So it's going to have to be dealing with them. Okay, in the Middle East. Yep. That's something that's going to be taking place. And just imagine how powerful that's going to be. See, and everybody's focusing on stupid stuff and not even yeah, it's called the kings with the S of the East might be prepared. That's the war. And I saw unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon and out of the mouth of the beast and out of the mouth of the false prophet. See, they gonna be in on that too, y'all. You see? For they are the spirits of devils working miracles which go forth to kings of the earth and of the world, the whole world, to gather them the battle. of the great day of Ahia Almighty. So okay, yeah, see that's in the great day. Yeah, that's gonna be the uh the war ground. That's gonna be the war ground, y'all. That's gonna be the war ground. Yep, that's gonna be the war ground for a war. You're talking a real war. But and that's I think that's happening. I'm thinking after we are out of here. Yep, I think we're gonna be out of here. She wanted to know, was she on Earth yet? Was she or the other one that came? She said there was two more angels with her, but she didn't know the other one on the earth. She wanted to know, was she on the earth? Oh, okay, I understand. Okay. That's really good. That's good. That's really good. That's really good. There you go. See, you being about your father's business. That's what I'm talking about. That's really good. No, that's good. Now you know that'll always come in handy. That'll always come in handy, even when the pandemic or whatever. When you can do that, that'll work. Give praise to the Most High, or higher, or higher. Yeah, that'll work. And you know, even using it to as a form of ministry, you know, that's really good. Hmm. That's still giving them the word to bless someone. That's real good. That is really good. Yeah, that is really good. But yeah, it's the kings of the east. Uh Russia, China, Iran, Iraq, Turkey, Syria, all of it. I think that's going to be whatever it's going to be. It's going to be a fighting ground. I tell you that because that's a lot of people. Even though we have a lot of people in this country, but I don't think America going to be nowhere near that because I think America's is just the breed in which they're going to fall into is going to wipe them off off, totally off the map. I'm gonna put it like that. I really think so. Yeah, I think they're not going to be uh, on the map at all. I really think so. I really think they're just going to be, uh, and we're going to be away out of here, and they're going to be the United States going to be nothing. It's just going to be a habitation, I think they call it, of fowl, birds, and whatever. I don't think American is going to be here that much longer. And when I say much, I think a lot of people, like this man was talking. Remember that video I was showing you about that man was talking about the river drying up? I was saying earlier when I was on here, when I first started this video, I was saying, why is it they can talk about prophecies like that, but can't talk about what their forefathers has done and who we are as a people are, what their forefathers have done and they're wicked and evil. To me, it's just hard for me to listen to people try to minister the prophecies or tell you what's taking place in the world according to the Bible when you have never owned up to who you are. That's hard for me. That's hard for me to really take it with it's just real hard because you wondering, okay, you telling the father's prophecy, but you can't identify who we are. You can't identify that we are the true children and those that are over there are not, and you are partaker in all of that. They don't want, and maybe it's the will of the Father. It could be the will of the Father. This is his way of allowing it to be this way. It's this way. It has to be because even they themselves we'll never own up to it. Never own up to it. I heard this lady earlier today on this podcast. I think this man has, and she was talking a European over in Africa, how her father and her father's father and all the things that they done to the African people that's unjust and that's unfair, and how the people that are starving and all the things they're doing, but you ain't standing on no mountain proclaiming unjust, unrighteous done to the people. You're on his podcast because he's catered to his people. So you only on there to cater to his people, not to yours. We know the story. You need to tell it to your people. That now we know it. You see, it just don't make any sense to me how they go about it. It don't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. It's really, it really doesn't make any sense. But that's the way I believe that he's allowing it. It's still going according to his will. And to me, that's pretty deep. It's really deep for them to continue to feed us what their forefathers did, but not feed it to the world. You get what I'm saying? You can come tell us, but you can't tell the world. You need to be standing on the mountain saying, wait a minute, we done this wrong. And it's this other man, he was talking about what they did to the to the Indians, the native, and how they don't feel that they done anything wrong. It was just, it was righteous. How is it just and it's righteous for you to go and take their land? Not only that, have them to train you or teach you how to do everything you doing, get them drunk and kill them, women and children, and you take everything from them. What's just about that? And that's what bothers me. How can you tell the prophecy of this Bible and not tell the truth of the matter of how wicked and evil you all are as a people? It just doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. Is it because the Father don't want? I don't know. I can't even say, because he doesn't cover their end in here. All he covers is how he's going to kick butt, how he's going to destroy them, and how they're going to suffer. And I guess that's good enough for me to know that he got it. He got a backup plan. Even though they thinking that, hey, they can get away trying to teach us this book and prophesy to us and tell us what Revelation is saying, but yet you're not speaking no lines of spirit and truth. So to me, I think that that's totally unjust and wicked. So when he sung that to me, I was thinking, I said, okay, yeah, he's telling the truth. That is the battleground, and these things are going to actually take place. But wait a minute. What about what's going on in the country you living in? What your country is doing? What about this country and what it's doing? Why is it? This is just so, it could be the Father. It could be the way the Father got it set up. Because I'm like saying, why is it nobody in this country, in the United States, own up to any wrongdoing of any kind? Why? Okay. I get that too, Father. I get that. He said, because they only supposed to orchestrate the whole idea to make sure the yoke is around our neck until we are destroyed. So when we are destroyed here mentally, then he's going to destroy them physically and spiritually, meaning the lake of fire and everything else. So I guess that makes sense too. It's just so many things. Because even today, driving, from one part of the county to the other part, and I got so much to think about, and I'll be thinking about how and where we are as a people, or even where I'm at, as a mother, as a sister, okay, as a grandmother, just seeing these things and just reminiscing on the whole overall of where everything is at today, with me. And I always seem to find myself just thanking the Father in the heaven for allowing me to be closed in my right mind spiritual. I do, y'all. Because I said, and I tell him, I said, I need you. I need you all the way. I can't do it without you. I mean, I really can't, you guys. I can't function without him. And I refuse to try to do anything without him. Because this is really, really, really deeper than what it appears and how we are seeing it and how we are beholding it. It's deeper. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Even though Deuteronomy 28 talk about how we're going to be destroyed here, but if you clothe in your right mind spiritual, guess what? You will never be destroyed here, because the one that should have been controlling you was from the beginning is your spirit. So if your spirit got its right mind, so what if you lost it in your flesh? Your spirit gonna control you from that time on. And I think that's beautiful. And that's all he has always said. He said, get your flesh under the subjection to your spirit. For your spirit is willing to follow me and obey me, but your flesh is weak. It wants to follow darkness. So if he's saying get it under the subjection, because he's willing to come in your spirit and take you where you need to go in life itself, you know. And I think that's something to even just think about, you know. So it is if he, the thing about it, he said, go back, Deborah, from Genesis all the way up, and I want you to pull out all the time I destroyed Israel. I want you to pull out every last one. And when you're done, he's telling me I'm going to be shocked to know that this is the routine with this type of people. This is a routine. This is the routine. And who took the people out? Basically, their own people. This is what Ahiah allowed. This is what he charged to happen. You see? So therefore, he said that because I let him go on the ship, they better wake up. That was a blessing. I could have took them out, every last one of them, because they did what I told them not to do. So going over to the ship was allowing them. It's like, okay, I'm gonna say the example. You remember in the wilderness, how they kept disobeying him and going up against him, doing all kind of sick things, y'all. What did he do? He didn't allow them to make it to the promised land. They died off right where they at. You see? So this is how Ahiah is showing us that y'all need to learn who y'all are and how y'all have been toward me. And once you learn that, you will understand why Deuteronomy has the end game. Because after that end game is completed, then I'm coming for you. But until it has end, you're going to remain where you at. Yep. Because we always talked, and you can listen to every Hebrew Israelite who's on here to call themselves teaching. They still can't pinpoint why they still here. They can't pinpoint it. And they won't. They still can't. They said everything that they want to say in their flesh because they cannot pinpoint. Why are you still here? One thing they do know, that the Gentile time is over. They know that, but they can't pinpoint, well, why haven't we stepped out of this captivity? Why are we still here? Because you didn't get it like he gave it to you. There's an end game. There's an end game, and we don't want to accept that end game. And it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad because it would, and you all too, when you're dealing with people, let them know that there is an end game to the curse. Why? The curse got the end, y'all. Ahiah never stepped into the next, he don't never step to the next, how would I say it? He don't never step to the next power until one has been completed. Ahiah would never step to the next one until one is completed. He don't even rumble like that. So what has to be completed, y'all? Okay, let me ask y'all this question. If that's the case, and we're in Deuteronomy 28, what has to happen here in Deuteronomy 28 for Ahiah to go to the next step? You see, do that make any sense? How is he gonna end the curse? You see what I'm saying? You think he's gonna end the curse in the promised land? No. How is he going to end the curse? He ain't gonna wait till he gets you up and clean you up and end the curse. So the curse has to end. Why? Because we have to step into the next revelation of, or how would I say it? How will we say it? We have to step into the next, and it's got to do with him, his next mission for us as a people. You see? He has to, we have to step into, it just can't end right here and say, we just stuck here. We don't have anybody ever thought we still here in captivity? The neck of the enemy is still on our necks. The yoke of the enemy is still on our necks. And what we're doing here is off the chain to one another. And our men then lost it totally. So what do you think Ahiah's going to do? Can anybody answer that? What do you think he's, okay, let's tell you what. Let's take it out of, what do you think he should do? Anybody in the live chat, come on. Each and every last one of you. What do you think Ahiah should do from this time on today with us as a people? Let me just, and it ain't like we need to know it. We know what Ahiah is planning on doing 100. But what, let me plug this up. What would you say we need to do? Anybody? What would you say we need to do as a people? Or what do you think that Ahiah, not we, should do with us as a people? Right where we at today in this here captivity. You mean nobody can answer that? We just talking about your opinion of what you think would be good. That he, or whatever you think that he should do right now to end this curse. What should he do? Nobody can answer that. Is that heavy, y'all? Come on now. Somebody should be able to have some. What do Ahiah need to do to end this curse right here and now? What do you think he should do? Anybody? Come on, somebody. Yep, that's good. But what should he do to end the curse? That's what we should do. You're right. Humble ourselves, repent for our sins, and denounce our ancestor sin. He would love to hear that. Ahiah would love to hear that. But what should he do? What would you think that he should do? Shalom. What do you think he should do? We just want to know. What do you think the Most High Ahiah should do to end this curse right here and now? Gentile time is over. Come on now, Ahiah. Help us out, Father, y'all. Come on here. Oh, I like that one. Oh, I like that one. That's what I think too. That's sad, ain't it? But it's the truth, y'all. It's the truth. Take us all out. I'm telling you, even though we know he ain't gonna do that, but I'm just still saying, I mean, that's what my mind would be. Because Ahiah, no, I didn't ask him already. Well, why don't you just take us, just end it all, Father? He said, Deborah. And it was like, that had to be 29 years ago. I said, well, Father, why don't you? I was crying too. Why don't you just take it all? Just end it all. It's so crazy. Let's end it all. He said, Deborah, I got something that got to be born. I got too much coming for me to just end it where it's at. But yeah, I was like that because you get wrapped up in him and who he is. And you realize that he put so much into us, y'all. He has put so much into us. And I said to him, I said, now, you want me to go way back in Genesis and go all the way to Revelation and see how many times you destroyed Israel. And it's going to bring such a heavy thing on me. He said, it needs to. He said, you need to see that. And then you will say how blessed we were to be able to get on ships and come here. A lot of people don't even understand what African did. The reason why they don't understand it, it's right here in Deuteronomy 28. You all, before you get to the ship part, read all that other stuff. That's when we was in Africa. Africa was cutting up from the floor up on us. And we sitting around here. And did y'all know Africa is actually over there fighting British for reparation? They are not entitled, you guys, because of slavery. You all know slavery started on the land of Africa. They the one called them over to trade us. And they asked them, what do you call them? Or what can we do with them? They told them slaves. You can do anything you want. Africa did that. Africa did that. Have y'all never, let's see, I did when I was young. I watched movies and things about Africa itself and how they were killing. Because this is what I couldn't figure out. Why isn't the food getting over there to them? That bothered me. Why is it that y'all sending all this food and it's not getting over there to the poor people? Because guess what was happening? African had a lot of tribes. Didn't have to do with Hebrew Israel. And their kings were so evil and wicked toward their people. They, them long knives, they would behead children and women and men and just take over their land. This is how Africa, I keep saying Africa, but it wasn't called Africa. But since I was living, it's been called Africa. I put it like that. But they are some vicious, nasty acting people. Very wicked and evil. And people run and they keep on running over there. And they are Hebrews, but Hebrew Israelites, but they keep running over there talking about go back to Africa. You just is silly. How could you have been over there all that time? And this one man, I see he got his butt back here in the United States. I guess he spent all this money. And then he got his butt back here trying to get people to buy into all these heathens currency and all this stuff that they trying to, our people has got us out here trying to sell all kind of things for these heathens. For heathens, not Gentiles, heathens. How are people still trying to get their people locked up in taking their funds and buying this stuff from these heathens? I just can't figure it out. I just can't figure it out. That's the part I ain't even looked at. It ain't that I can't figure it out. How already gave me the fullness. It's just that I got to stop bumping my head and keep running the race. Let it be what it's going to be. Yep, push the button. I know that's right. And we know he ain't going to do that. He got a plan. He got an awesome plan. And you guys, I'm going to start getting my spirit ready. I don't think that I'm going to be here to go over to the promised land. But you know what? I'm going to get my inner man and my outer man in a mindset to be ready. That's just it. Sister Deborah can't do no more than that. Just to be ready. Just to be ready. Just to be ready. He is so awesome. He is so wonderful. He's so great. He's so perfect. He's so all-knowing. Sometimes I just wished I could just run up to him and just hug him and tell him, thank you, Father, y'all. Thank you so much. I think I'd be so full of repenting, telling him how sorry I am for all of us, which I had a real bad saying that. Oh, Father, forgive us. We sorry. Thank you for all your grace and your mercy, your kindness. I mean, it's just words can't even describe it. Whenever you can wake up in the morning in the midnight hours and just be praising him and thanking him for who he is and who he has been in our lives. Yes, he is a help me, Ahia. She said, what she said, yes, he is a help me, Ahia. Yeah. Yeah, it's help us. We need it. We really need it real bad. You know what? I'm sitting here saying we need it. We need it real bad. But guess what? We don't even see the mercy and grace. You see, that mercy and grace is still poured out. It's poured out. Mhm. You know, you guys, I ain't watched the news and I don't know when. Isn't that something? I ain't watched nothing that's going on. Ain't that something? I just thought about it because I was saying, well, maybe what is going on? And then I just thought, realized I ain't even watched the news in probably almost a month now. That's something, ain't it? But I guess it ain't saying nothing no way but a lie. It ain't doing nothing but lie. And you know what? I was over to my children's home. And you know what? I always put my sons and my daughters before the altar of the Most High, a higher, asking Him to save them and sanctify them. See, I don't go asking a higher to get them this and get them this and do this for them and get them. You know what? I always ask the Father. Our Father, I come before your throne in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. I'm coming all the way, Father. I'm coming at your feet, and I'm going to grab the hem of your garment, Father. And I say unto you, forgive me. I be going into repentance, and I begin to say, save, sanctify my children. Set them aside for your purpose and your will. Let them do your will. Let them know that you are a higher and there is no other. But I always make sure I say, this is the prayer of a mother for her children that shall never outweigh my most high or higher will. Let thy will be done. I think about how, and I always had this feeling that if one of mine, how would I, as a person, just straightforward, hey, my father's wills would be done, and I know that we all come in to go out and all, but I just know that I know that it would draw me even closer, because of how he has been there for me. And I'm gonna tell y'all what I've learned about the Creator. Mm, 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 mm. He's not the way they taught him to be. Mm, 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 mm. He'll warn you. He'll reveal things to you. He'll tell you to stand down. He'll tell you to stand up. He'll tell you to shut your mouth. He'll tell you that don't worry nobody with that. Don't do this. Do this. I mean, he would talk to you like he got a one-on-one relationship with you when you come to really know who he is. This is, I mean, it just it outweigh any and everything that he could. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Because I'm gonna have to get on a topic, you guys. I got to get on a topic about something that I have spoke about, and I call myself teaching about who he is. When people talk about this love and he's give, I got to get on the topic and I have to teach it, and I'm going to teach it, and it's going to be really, really heartfelt, a really good message. I want to speak on my ex-husband. Okay, I want to speak on my ex-husband. And because this is a time to talk, we can talk about anything. But I want to really cover my ex-husband. Okay. Uh, I realized not today, not yesterday, but way back that this man had to been put in my life just to hold me where Ahia wanted me to be. Even though I didn't get what I wanted out of what one would call a marriage. but I'm looking at it the way I felt I wanted it to be. And like I said, when I was a little girl, I used to always think about, oh, I'm going to be a wife and I'm going to have 3 children and I'm going to take care of my children and I'm going to take care of my husband and my husband going to treat me like a cotton ball. That's how I picture a woman, as a cotton ball, and a man is dealing with her so delicate. Ever since I had to been what, about say 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I used to always think about being a wife and having 3 children and how my husband going to be dealing with me as a cotton ball and how he's going to make sure I'm taken care of. And you know, when I look back over the definition of love, like Tina Turner said it, she couldn't have nailed it no better. Love ain't got nothing to do with this. That's what she was talking about, you guys. What love have to do with it? It don't. Because there's really nothing that really can give you a definition of the word they created called love. But when I look back, I don't know if y'all ever had that song, when you look back over your life and you think things over, you can truly say that I've been saved because I got a testimony. And that's because sometimes we need to look back over our lives, see where we've been, to know where we're going. And when Ahia gave me love and he gave me what love in him is, it's not the way we spell it and pronounce it and define it. He said it is give and gave in him. And guess what, you guys? Sister Deborah gonna tell you. Give and gave is all my husband have done and given me. It was all give and gave. And then when you look back at it, you be like, wait a minute, where's the love? Where's that word love? Love is this and love is that and love is this. But when you learn what Ahia is give and gave, then I turned back. I said, wait a minute, Father, y'all, that's who Charles was. He said, yeah. See, you always had it because I gave it to you. He is give and gave. Ain't that's what he was to you? That's what the Father said. Ain't that's what he was to you? I'm like, but I wanted more. No, you don't want more. Because what more is there? I told you ain't no such thing as love. That's something man made up and put in between so you all won't know, just like they did with a soul. They put that in between so you won't know the two, flesh and spirit. Because if the spirit has to get the flesh under subjection, why is the soul free? Well, that's how love is. Love is give and gave. But they put love there so you will never find the identity of who Ahia is, which is give and gave. So when I look back, it was 33 years? And I said, you know what? This man and I was together for 33 years. He never raised his voice. Not one time. Not one time. He never yelled at me. He never hit me. He never cursed me. All he did was give and gave. All he did was give and gave. This man would work 2 jobs, come in, sit at the table. How was your day? He would come in. How was your day? And he's sitting there, just like this here, listening to every word I say. And then this what he do, y'all. But what did you do? Was it okay? But what was the kids? Were you fine with that? He just nodded away. But he always wanted to hear what I had that was going on that day and what I was doing that day. Even when he was falling asleep. Woo! You know, I look back over my life and I said, you know what? he never was able to give me what I felt I needed and I wanted. You remember that fantasy of that 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old that had a husband that treated her like a cotton ball? Honestly, y'all, when I think of that cotton ball, not today, this is something I thought about. He was just that. Treated me very delicate. Anytime you can be with somebody 33 years and they never raised their voice at you, don't you think that's a cotton ball? I would think so. I'm just saying, I guess I can really look back over my life and not only see all the things that Ahia has put into my life. He didn't allow me to be around people I grew up with, I went to school with, I went to high school with, in my neighborhood. He didn't let me get around smoking and drinking and Ahia didn't allow me involved in any of that nonsense. I was never detached to those things. My testimony came heavy and hard, but it wasn't because I was addicted to drugs or I was on drinking or, none of those things. And just looking back at how Ahia has orchestrated my life, I mean, what more can I ask for? You know what I'm saying? And everything I think, look at my life and I look back at it and I said, well, but I can tell you one thing about me. I'm non-tolerant. I don't believe in no, don't bother me. I'm non-tolerant. But I remember raising my children up and I don't even think they ever heard me and my husband argue. Oh, they heard me get loud, but they never heard him. He never disciplined his children. It's just so much that I wanted that I felt that I was entitled to because of me being a woman that was there, made sure his life went so, I would say, perfect for him. It's just, I just look back over it and I just think if Ahia had to put me down, I don't think there's nothing in my life that I could actually look back at and say, when I didn't, I wish I would have did this. I wish he would have gave me this. And I don't even think so, you guys, because the more and more I look over, like I told you, even on my jobs, I mean, every job I've been on, people only came to me when they was having issues at home with their marriage or with their wife, with their husband, with the co-worker, with the CEO, or always the heavy people. I was the one that they would bring. That's everywhere I worked. And everywhere I worked is where Ahia sent me in. I worked with the multitude. I worked with CEOs and directors and managers and, people in the highest positions of places that I have worked. Prison system, battered women and children, women on drug and alcohol addiction, and just Chrysler, the post office. I just everywhere I've worked has been around the multitude, but every place he has assigned me to work, it was I always made good money, and good benefits. I always had good money and good benefits. And just saying today to some of you all out there is that Ahia can have orchestrated your life for such a purpose to where you have to want to repent for anything you say, do, or how you conduct yourself, or what you say that displeases him. You can't help but want to please him because your whole life he has orchestrated and made sure that you didn't get tangled up. It's not nothing that has to do with Sister Deborah. It was what Ahia saw fit, that I didn't get tangled up in the things and in the cares and the issues of the world. And I just sit back and say, if he was to put me to sleep today, it'll be like, okay, I'm ready whenever you are, because it just, when I look back over my life, and even my testimonies, in the midst of my testimonies, he always makes sure he strengthened me real hard. If he had to take my son, he gave me dreams and visions to know that, so that I would know that he's going to do that. You see what I'm saying? Anything that had come upon me, he always would give me a upper a hand on what's going to take place. Most of the time, he didn't give me the fullness. It's almost like I'm gonna only prepare you, not to the point where you're not going to react to it once it hits you, because you are human. But I'm gonna prepare you from the inside so you can be able to handle that which shall come upon you. So this is why, when you wonder why Sister Deborah teach the way she teach and she speak the way she speak about him, is because he all that and some, and has been like that in my life. But I sit here and I just thought to bring that up about that man that I was with for 33 years. I wanted so much out of him that he wasn't created to even give me. This man didn't have what it takes to give me what I wanted, you see. But what he gave me is what a higher gave him to give me. And in it all, I look back and I see it as a higher has taught me what it is. It's give and gave. It's what he give. He gave you his time. Guess what he gave me? He gave me his ear. Did you women know that the difference between a man and a woman in a relationship is this? And I had to do this here. This was like 20 some years ago. This is what I knew. But why didn't I apply it? I didn't, because I wanted more out of my marriage. Now watch this here. How I would teach the women and the men, okay, was a man wants something from a woman, and a woman wants something from a man. This thing that a man wants and this thing that a woman wants, we just gonna say one thing, okay? It will make a marriage fold together. A woman wants a man that hears her. A woman wants and need a man to hear her. Because if he hear her, then he knows what she like, how she like to be touched, what's her favorite food, any and everything about her, because he have sat down and have heard her. So now he knows what she likes. Most 99.1, not 99 trillion women don't know. That's all you really want, is a man to hear you, to take out that time and hear you. Because hearing you, he'll know what you like. He'll know what you don't like. He'll know how you like to be touched. He'll know how you like to, what's your favorite food, how you don't like this, you don't like that. Why? Because he hear you. So a woman wants a man to hear her. And a man, all he wants is to be the best and good at what he does. That's it. A man wants to know that he's good at what he does. That's it. That's it. He wants you to tell him that he's good at what he does. And you want him to hear you. Because in hearing you, he knows what you like and all those things about you. But the number one thing men does not do, and never did, and you will hear great grandma, if they were able to sit here and tell you, they'll tell you the truth of the matter. They don't hear them. They don't listen. They don't sit down to hear them, to know anything about them. They could care less. Because men never knew. I'm speaking of not Africa. I'm speaking of Hebrew Israelite men. They never shut their mouth long enough to just be there to hear you. And if they don't hear you, then you're not getting what you need from them. So you don't waste your time telling them or how good they are. Now watch this. If you go out to the grocery store, don't go out there and get the bags if the husband is there. You don't go out there and get the bags. Mm-mm. When I would come from the store, Charles would run out to the store, open the door for me so I can get out. This is 33 years of this job. So I can get out. Do I have to get the bags? No, he get the bags. But what they want us to say to them, you gonna get them bags? You mean you that strong? You gonna carry them bags for real? Well, you good. Look, you got all them bags that quick. See, praising them, telling them how good they are. We so busy telling them what they're not doing, what they can't do, what they haven't done, and never took out the time to tell them how good they were good, how good they are in what they do. Sometimes it's even telling them they good when they're not even good. But it's about building up in him, you see, what he needs as a man. And that is to be told that he's good at what he does. Say, for instance, if he decided to go out there and cut the tree, the limbs and off the tree. Babe, you cut the trees? Ooh, that looks like a professional done that. Ooh, you did a good job. Oh, that is really good. That's all they need. That's all. That's all they needed. All this time, that's all they needed, to be praised, to be told that they're good at what they're doing. Say, for instance, they decide to take their clothes, their uniforms, and wash them. And they turned around and forgot to put the detergent in it to wash the uniforms. Was so anxious to put them in the water, and then they didn't put the detergent. Who washed these here clothes? You put these in here? Yeah. Oh, well, that's a good thing. At least you trying. Oh, babe, I forgot to put the detergent. That's okay. The water gonna get it the way you want it, but that's a good job. That you did a good job. You put all the color clothes in here. That's a good job. You ain't got no white ones in there. See, that's all they wanted. They ain't asking for much. They weren't asking for much. That's a real man. He ain't asking for much. And a woman, a real woman, she's not asking for much. She just wants you to sit down. Remember I told you, this man worked 2 jobs, full-time job. He'd come in day or night. If I'm in the kitchen or if I'm even asleep, how was your day? And he was sitting up just like this, you guys. He did this for years. And so what, how did it turn out? Oh, what, you know. I said, Charles, you can go on to bed. But he always wanted to know, how was my day? Well, this man ended up hearing everything about me. He always had the ear to hear. But guess what? He wasn't mentally equipped to fulfill the desires or the, let's say, let me show y'all an example. Let me show you an example. Okay. 33 years. If I say, he know I like Dr. Peppers, I only drink one a week, okay? So if I say a Dr. Pepper, and I've known him for 33 years, he'll go to the store and he'll give me a Pepsi. If I say, go get a loaf of bread and get me a bag of my favorite chips. Well, he'll go get the loaf of bread, but he'll get me something opposite of what I asked. Stuff like that bothered me, and I wanted more. You see, I felt that I should have, and I was deserving to have more because of being his A to Z. You see, and when I said being his A to Z, it wasn't nothing that this man was lacking. You see what I'm saying? I made sure if he needed glasses, I needed glasses. That means it was my job to make sure that he has an appointment and be there with him and make sure he gets what he needs. If he had a doctor appointment or if he had needed new shoes or whatever, you know, I made sure, you know, that, okay, you want to go where you want to go. And, you know, he always wanted me to go with him. You see, I always was there. made sure it when a day that he go to work and would and come home to a hot meal every day. That's just who I was. Then I had all those kids. I made sure that they had breakfast in the morning and dinner in the evening when they came home. You know, just really what you call how would I say it? A servant. Strictly, I'm a strictly servant. And I'm just saying, just thinking back at my life and realizing that this man only gave me the best that he knew how and what Ahia had given him. And all that I wanted, he couldn't give me is because he didn't have it to give. So much for that. We best friends now, though. He stays over there with his children, and I stay here. Oh no, no, ain't that not one of them are gonna be able. That's why when y'all hear Sister Deborah talking about these men, I have every just reason. Y'all don't get it. I have every just reason because I have not met up on the way these men act. You see, I haven't experienced that. I have sons myself that don't act like these men out here today. So I'm just totally lost with why are they doing all of this? But Ahia answered the question. He answered it, all of it, and it makes a lot of sense now. Shalom, shalom. Yeah. So it makes a lot of sense now. But let me tell you, it was so that's how my little life has been. But now it's just to the point where, okay, Father, what's next? I try to do things to pretty much make life worth living. And I think my thing is I need to go back to what I used to do. And that used to maybe go under the bridge and talk to the true angels that's under bridges in vacant houses and stuff like that. You know, because there's some real angels in locations like that. Yeah, Charles has two brothers, and his brother that's under him also he did the same way with his wife, even though she pretty much dogged him out. She passed away though, but yeah, he was the same. Yeah, he really was. He was the same way with his wife. I mean, he had that same way, but he wasn't as humble. He was a what you call a minister, but he wasn't as humble as Charles. You know, and I look back at Charles and I realize that his brothers, you know, he is not. They are not as humble as he was, even though they were pretty good guys too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But then he also Charles ended up being more like my father. It's the strangest thing. He was really pretty much like my father, but uh, uh, a whole lot like my father. Because my father was a very, very humble type of man. And all that arguing and fighting and all that nonsense, we didn't go through all that. We didn't experience all that like most people be telling you things going on in their household. In the household I came up with, we didn't have that. my parents didn't. We didn't see all that. We didn't, you know. So I guess when you look back and you see the life that you have lived and how you had so many mountains that Ahia said, "Bam, get out of her way," and it was out, gone. And you see him doing that throughout your life and making it a way that would nothing stand in your way because he was that rock there for me and didn't let nothing stand in my way. And I just think about just who he is, y'all. If you just get to, woo, boy, if y'all knew. And I'm not saying that you don't know, but the feeling, that that's in me, that knowing how all these years that he has brought himself to me would be 59 years. And I think that is awesome. And he has never, when he used to show me Satan, I asked him, I said, but it looks like he got me in his hand like a doll, and he's sticking me with a pen. And why are you letting him do that? That's what I said to the Father. I said, why are you letting him do that? I don't like that. And then that's when it stopped. It stopped. Because I used to do this here all the time. Because I didn't like it. Felt like something was sticking me in my hand. So when he showed me Satan, and he was in this dark room next to flames, and he had a doll that looks like me, and he was sticking this doll with this pen, and I began to yell at Yah. At that time, I was calling him God. Why are you letting him do that to me? That's why I be doing this. And after that, bam, I never had that problem again. I was yelling at God. Why are you letting him do that to me? I was upset. Had not he shown me, I probably wouldn't have never known. But he showed them to me. He showed me. Because, see, he had allowed Satan to have some time with me. But he only limited his time. That's why, as a little girl, I was being tormented by him at nighttime. At nighttime. And through it all, even that's why I tell y'all, I look back over my life and see how Ahia has always been there for me. Always. And in spite of how young I was, and how as time go on, things begin to change. I think he was bothering me up until I think I was like 18 years old. I'm serious. I stayed in that Bible. I'm telling y'all, I stayed in it. But I also would say to you all, Ahia has always been there for me. And I just can't come to y'all in a way that would appear as if I'm just running my mouth and I don't know him. I come to you in a way to let you know I know who he is. I've tried him for myself. And when I tell y'all going in that closet, when you go into that secret closet, let me tell you something. He will form a relationship. And guess what? I'm going to tell y'all something y'all did not know. The closet also represents deliverance. Okay? It brings deliverance. See, the closet is a secret place. Okay? Once you go in there and you leave flesh out, but you go in the spirit realm, and when he meets you there, there's things in your body he would cause to all come out, because he will be communing with your spirit, working that thing out, that it comes out of your flesh. See, that's why I say it's kind of sad, because the more you feel you telling people that this is a relationship between you and him, not you, him, and Deborah, not you, him, and YouTube, you, him, and Facebook. No, you and him in that closet. And it's such a lovely feeling, because I don't care what's going on in your life. Once you get in that closet, you ain't gonna come out the same. You are not gonna come out the same. It's so much deliverance in that closet. It's so much revelation in that closet. Because once you get in there and then you begin to hear him speaking to your spirit, and it's not in your natural ear, it's in your spirit. Then reason why you know it ain't in your natural, because you're gonna see that the natural is silent, but yet you can't understand what is being said, but something is being said, but you don't understand it. That's because you have stepped in to the Holy of Holies, and now it's between him and your spirit. Your flesh is on the wayside, getting mad because it can't understand what's going on in the closet. But that closet is a place where you can get all your blessings. You can get healing. You can get deliverance. And see, that's something many people won't tell you all. But the truth of the matter, in that closet is where it's at. It's in that closet is where it's at. Because now he's coming down. As he in you, he's bringing out of you who he is from above and in you. All that power is talking to your spirit. Why is he talking to your spirit? Because he knew you'd been in heaven. So he's telling you what's going to go down and how it's going to be. Oh, you need deliverance. You need help. You need this. You need that. And that's one way of getting deliverance. It's in that closet. And it's very hard for people to go into the closet because they don't see the significant, or they don't see the reason, because their lives are going so peachy keen to them. So I'm not going in no closet. Because to me, if you ain't been in the closet is where they tells you, it's in the Bible telling you to pray to him in spirit. It tells you that. That's what that closet is. To pray to him in the spirit. A lot of people, 99 point trillion, won't do it. Because they don't see, for what? You know, because they think their healing is really what they want to see in the natural. And they want the doctors to tell them they want deliverance through medication. They want all this stuff, but they don't want to go in that closet. But don't worry about it. I'm telling you, the fire that is lit is off the chain. It'll try Sister Deborah by the fire. And I'm telling you, you have to have some sort of relationship with him, because I'm going to tell you, that's it. That is it. So anybody have anything to share? Yeah. I guess no one has anything that they want to add to the live chat. What is going on in the world today? Anybody know? I'm sorry, I haven't even seen any news. Oh wow, that's something that's deep. I haven't. So I really wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to. You all take advantage. Anybody that's going to school or went to school and you got student loans, make sure you get that student loan forgiveness. I think that's what it's called, forgiveness money, to wipe away your loans. So make sure you get on there and take care of that. Take care of that. Get them loans wiped off. Because I think they're going to do it up to, I think, the end of October. So if you have any student loans, make sure you all take care of that and get it wiped off. Because there's money that they are applying to wipe away all student loans or student loans. Oh, I hate to hear that. And yes, we as a family on here, we must pray for AC. Okay, you are. And when Sister Deborah said pray, pray with a sincere heart. Okay. Because Ahaya know exactly what is going on. Okay, we got the my heart and breathing acting up. Forgot what doctor claimed I have with my heart. Face hurt. Too praying. Okay, and you got the headaches. What is going on? That's there. Is there something that's actually taking place that you have held back, even from the family, that is happening? Someone has done something that's causing you to have some sort of tension or some sort of heaviness. What has taken place that's real heavy in your life right now? and pray. Yes. What is it that is uh yes. What is it that's heavy? There's a heavy burden is what you're carrying. And from the way you're feeling it is that it's something that you just can't shake. It's like it's not going to move. It's just there. And you don't see no way out of it. And what it does, it will cause all the things that you even seen, believe it or not, to take place. Because it's a form of a stress on your heart. Okay. And it will interfere with your breathing and your face and you having headaches. So I know we are on live and it's maybe it's just something you can't talk about right now, but maybe this is also an issue that needs to go. You need to go into the closet. Okay. Go into that closet that I'm speaking of and go in there with the mindset that I'm not coming out, Father, or higher, until you have delivered me, and don't come out. I don't care how late it get. I don't care how early morning. I don't care if you got to go to work. I don't care whatever. Don't come out of that closet until he has blessed you. Yep. It could be many things. You're right. You're right. But going in that closet will allow it to be between you and your spirit and your spirit. Because y'all already know what it is. He don't want to correct it. So why not go with your spirit, trusting and believing this is something that he calls a mountain that only he himself can move out of the way. And I think you need to just go into that closet and let it be between you and him. And don't come out until he bless you, till he has fully delivered you and took away the breathing, the heart problem, the face hurting, because all of that sounds like a lot of pressure and tension due to something that has taken place that you have not discussed with your family, your siblings, with nobody. And it's just overwhelmed. It's just overtaken over. And you need to go in the closet and put it before the Most High or higher. Because you can't hide it from him, but all he sits back high and low. Come on, bring it on. Bring it on. The only reason why you wouldn't bring it is because you don't think he's capable. And in that case, I don't care how much we pray. You got to go into that closet and don't come out. And don't come out. We will be praying for you. I know I will. And I'm quite sure the others, they said they're going to, and I'm sure they would. Will. But I need you to go into the closet and let it be between you and him. And don't come out. Don't come out. Okay. You driving. Oh, but you should be texting. You, you All right. That's right. And we too shall pray. I know I will, and I'm sure many others that said that they would, that they will, and we will. And I know I will. Yes, Father Yah. Mm, Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. And when you come out of the closet delivered, you need to also go to the scriptures where Yeshua laid hands and people were delivered. Those verses in Matthew's, Luke, Mark, and John that speaks about healing and delivery. But know that when you go in that closet, don't come out till he bring you out. And that's for real. And I'm going to definitely make sure I pray today and tomorrow. Yes, Father God. Mm, 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 mm. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Yeah. The right hand of power. Praise the mighty Yah. Mm. Yes, Father Yah. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yes, Father Yah. Mm. Yes, Father Yah. Hallelujah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, Father Yah. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. So, Sister Deborah, also want each and every last one of us at the sound of my voice also pray for AC. Pray for her that Father Ahia will fully deliver. His will be done. He will deliver. Yes, Father Yah. Mhm. Yes, Father Yah. So I, Sister Deborah, say that I'm down to 2.5 hours. And I say I appreciate each and every last one of you in the live chat. I appreciate you tuning in. And I say shalom and shalom, and I will be back. And don't forget to pray for AC in your prayers tonight and tomorrow, that Ahia's blessing and healing of his right hand will be laid upon her, and that he will deliver. So we give Ahia all praise and all glory and honor. And I, Sister Deborah, say unto you, shalom and shalom.